Hello, friends. In this episode, I would like to talk about various aspects of financial literacy. FIRE. FIRE means financial independence, retire early. This is the concept. It was coined a few years ago, and it was widely talked about in the past. Now it has been overtaken by various other areas. Fire means you can retire early. Some people they think that they can retire by 50. Some people they can retire by 40. There are some young people they want to retire by 30 itself. So like that, different concepts have cropped up globally. The idea is to have financial independence and so that you can focus on other creative and other areas. That is objective, but it is easier said than done. It depends upon the risk appetite of the individual and their opportunities. When you look at my own case, I am 63 years. I still don't have financial independence, and because the era I was born is different. Whereas when you look at other generations like millennials and then again Gen Z, they have better opportunities. Then again, more than the millennials, Gen Z have better opportunities. If you look at some of the young people, they are very smart and brilliant, and they are tech savvy, and they are getting lots of opportunities. They are using credit cards. Then again, they are getting EMI culture is prevalent. So lots of opportunities are there for the young people, but again they have their own challenges. So everything has got pros and cons. But overall, the advantages are many for the young people, especially Gen Z. And Gen Z is widely focused than the millennials. And because the currently, if you look at the India and demographic dividend, an average Indian population is of around 28. We have 1.4 billion consumers, so there are lots of advantages for India. And India's growth story is very intact, and this financial literacy is very much there, but which was missing some 30 40 years back. When I joined Indian Air Force, when I was 18 years old, there was little money. Then I had to fund my for the education of my parents. And then I had to support my parents. So like that, so many things I did. Then and I didn't have any regular education, and I was a college dropout. Then again, I acquired qualifications. So it was very difficult and a very tough life I led. But despite the limited salary, funded for the education of my sister. Then again, supported parents. So all those things I did it, and despite having been born in a toxic family, and despite being not blessed with regular education, because at the age of 18, I joined in the Indian Air Force as an airman in the lowest rank of a couple, and for 12 years I served. So all subsequently I acquired lots of qualifications, like seven qualifications I acquired, all through private education. So this is briefly about my journey. So I was not able to enjoy this financial freedom, and the opportunities were not there. But when you look at this young people, millennials and especially Gen Z, so there are lots of opportunities. So the India is very strong, and the opportunities are many, and there is a financial literacy, and people are getting lots of opportunities. And if you look at young people, there are some billionaires. It's because of the technology, and the knowledge has been thrown open, and people are very ambitious. They have fire in their bellies. So most of the people they are successful, except a few people they are going in a wrong direction. But majority of the people they are doing good. So this is about growth story and financial literacy. So I'm very happy for, especially for young people, Gen Z, that they're rocking and they're doing good. But again, they have their own challenges. That's a different aspect. Then again, when we look at retirement, you should save money for rainy day, and you should keep funds safe. But it looks to be very easier, but it's very complicated to keep funds, especially if you are having financial challenges. So what you have to do is you have to save money, and you should start early. But in my case, I could not save early because I funded for the education of my children, and I worked in private colleges, and I was not getting regular money. I didn't have regular employment because I worked in private colleges, and lots of challenges were there. But despite all the challenges, I started leading. Somehow I managed. But then again, I had one more challenge. The year 2021, I had a brain stroke. Then my right portion and the right hand and right portion of the body was totally paralyzed. So lots of challenges I encountered. So this is my personal journey and about life. So everyone aspires to achieve financial independence, and we should be financial independence. If you are financial independence, then you can lead your life comfortably. And if you look at, there are some property disputes, litigations which are cropping up. So we should resolve them amicably. That's one thing. And also, parents must educate their children, and then we must inculcate ethical values in students. And we should cultivate savings habit, and right culture and attitude. All these things have to be inculcated in children, so that they can lead their lives happily. And also, don't mix money with relations. When you mix these both, then it will lead to complications. So best thing is to keep money separate and relations separate, so that you can lead your life peacefully. So overall, you should enjoy a very peaceful personal, professional, and social life. So these are all my observations and insights on money and relations. And as I told you, I had a brain stroke in the year 2021. I survived because of my positive psychology. So I request you to consider subscribing and sharing with your networks. The message is very simple, and you should strive for financial independence, and you should save for a rainy day, and don't depend on others. So once you depend on others, then you will be blackmailed and you will be exploited. So try to save money and try to be independent, and find out ways, right means and methods of making money in ethical manners, so that you can lead your life peacefully, and you can also add value and impact positively. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. With gratitude.